How are we doing? Today, going beyond motivation. Going beyond that temporary desire that, oh yeah man, I can do it. I'm going to get there today, and today I'm going to rock it out. But you know, motivation will only get you so far. And don't get me wrong, I love motivation, absolutely into motivation, inspiration, you know, dedication. All these things are terrific. But you know what's better? You know, I gotta say at times, fuck motivation. Because motivation is something transitory. Motivation doesn't always get you there when you're not feeling like it. Because if you're not motivated and you don't feel like it, well then maybe you're just not going to get it done, are you? Well, so what's more important than motivation? Work ethic. Work ethic will do when others won't. Creating a great work ethic means that even when you don't feel like it, even when you don't want to, you have a work ethic and you get on a roll. Work ethics create momentum. Motivation creates excitement. I'm a big fan of excitement, don't get me wrong. But it isn't something that is going to get you through the tough times, where a work ethic will. You will start to get momentum, and that momentum from your work ethic will get through the falls and the trips and the hazards and the hassles and the failures, because you're going to have tough times if you really want to work at getting your goals done, at following your dreams. It's going to be tough, and there's times when you are just going to have to put in hours and hours every single day, 7 days a week. You're just going to have to rock it out, and your work ethic is going to get you there. Because what is the most important thing? If we break it down to brass tacks, whether you want to be a writer or an artist or a doctor or a lawyer or a builder or a salesperson or anything, you've just got to produce. You need to produce and produce and produce. If I come over to your house and you tell me that you're an artist, you're a sculptor, I want to go into your garage and I want to see 200 sculptures unsold, sitting there, finished, nowhere to go. Why? Because if you're a sculptor, sculptors sculpt. If you're a writer, writers write. If you're a writer, I don't want to see your one novel. I want to see 10 novels. And when you finish that first novel, great. Open a bottle of bourbon, go out for a chicken dinner. I don't care. Have a little celebration. That's terrific. Good stuff. Now, whoosh, throw that one over the shoulder, on to the next one. Let's keep producing. And a work ethic will produce. Motivation requires that you have that motivation, and you're not always going to have motivation every day, but you can cultivate work ethic. How do you get a good work ethic? Well, habits. Good habits. Good habits that create a good routine. A routine that you follow, that you know that you follow, and your routine may be a little bit different than mine. For example, I go to the gym or do something very physical. I will even go skiing all day and then go to the gym. Why? Because I don't want to lose my momentum. I don't want to lose my habits. I do it to keep my head in the right place so that I can be strong. I'm a little bit freaking out this morning because I didn't make it to the gym yesterday, because I spent all of Saturday night with a stomach flu and I was throwing up everywhere. And I still wrote out an outline for this talk today. I still did a pile of research on the net yesterday. I still did my reading. I still got on with it. I still followed my work ethic and my habits as best as I could, even though I sat around feeling nauseous with stuff coming out of either end, probably TMI. So, How do you create that habit? Well, I'm a big believer in quantifiable results. What are a quantifiable result? That is like something that is not a quantifiable result is I want to lose weight. Not quantifiable. When? By how? By how much? What are you going to do? Now I want to lose 20 pounds by the end of 2 months. That's quantifiable. Very hard to do, by the way, but quantifiable. If you say, I am going to reduce my calories to 1,500 calories a day and I am going to stick to it, well, that is quantifiable. And when it comes to life goals, which are something that rolls on, rolls on, rolls on, rolls on, you are going to be looking for a different method. And my method is to write down every night my goals for the next day, and come hell or high water or whatever happens, I will make them. Now, obviously, if you spend all night being sick or something like that, there is the occasional time, where maybe you don't have anybody else relying on you and you can take it easy for a day. But this is rare. Most of the time, you are better off pushing through, persevering, getting through those tough times, and continuing with that work ethic so you don't slow your roll. And you'll realize, the amount of times that I have gone to the gym feeling like death. Well, feeling not like going to the gym, where I've had a tremendous gym day, versus the amount of times I've gone to the gym with a spring in my step and I've had a terrible gym day. You just don't know. There is a saying, beware the sick golfer. Because the golfer's not really worried about his game, he's just worried about getting through it. And he doesn't tend to make the mistakes. Oh, look at all the light in my eyes. Doesn't tend to make mistakes like he normally would because he's not going for his shots, he's just getting through the day. Sometimes when you're not at your best, you'll be very surprised. You can actually be at your best. Keep that work ethic up and you will start to discover that when you're sitting there with that really bad headache and you just tune out everything else and just concentrate on what you're doing, sometimes you will have the best breakthroughs on that day. So, I make a list. And here's my rule with the list. If I make that list and I get up the next day and I have done the list by midday, I don't tend to add anything to that list. Sometimes my personal work ethic will not let me sit still and I will still want to learn and want to read and want to pay attention. But I don't push myself to do more on the list. However, there are days when I make my list the night before and I might exceed my expectations on what I can do in a day. And that means if I'm up at 2 a.m. the next morning for fulfilling that list, if the list is too long, well, maybe make a shorter one tomorrow, but make sure you do that list today. Don't be crossing things off that list. You learn from your work ethic of if you put it in front of you, if you tell yourself that you're going to do it, do it. Once you start telling yourself lies, when you say, oh, I'm going to get this done, and you don't do it. And you say, I'm going to get that done, I'm going to go, and you don't do it. And then you say, eventually, you stop believing yourself. Eventually, you're like, oh, I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. Nope, doesn't happen. You don't even believe it when you tell yourself that. And when that alarm goes off at 5 a.m., you're not even going to hit snooze, man. You're just going to hit off. You're just going to go back to bed. No, get up at 10, you're like, fuck it, the day's over anyway. Might as well just go and hang out at the bar or smoke whatever, or anyway. Not really good enough. If you say you're going to do it, you should do it. Put it in writing, look at that list, cross it off during the day, and you will gain momentum. You will gain a work ethic. You will grow slowly but surely, slowly but surely, slowly but surely, slowly but surely. And you'll be surprised. If you let today take care of itself with your list, and that list incorporates your goals, you'll get there. And that list isn't really age dependent. What I mean by that is what your goals may be when you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 may change. But you still need to have a list. What, have you given up? You haven't given up on your goals, man. You only give up when you've kicked the bucket, headed off the earth, and who knows what happens then. Well, I'm not going to go into that. But age is just a number when it comes to goals and dreams. You never give up. You never give up making a list that excites you about the next day. Okay, sure, there's some grind, there's some work ethic, but this is also why when you are following your goals and your dreams, choose something you love and hopefully something you're good at. But if you love it, I guarantee you will get better at it. You might not be the best in the world, but you don't have to be the best in the world to actually carve out a successful niche for yourself. Right? And I'm not saying that this is a path to being a billionaire or a millionaire, but if you follow your dreams, you get yourself a work ethic, you follow that work ethic every single day, you make realistic goals, realistic, and I'm going to talk about that, you give yourself a very good chance of at least having minimal success, at least. And if you love what you do, then it's not that bad, is it? The other thing about a great work ethic is that when you're working, like I said about the writing before, okay, finish that one, next. Okay, finish that one, next. That's the thing. It doesn't matter about making it, right? Because you have this great work ethic. What are you going to do the next day? Well, you've made it. So you're not going to get up and work the next day? Of course you are, because you've got a great work ethic. Because what else would you do? What are you going to do? Go and lie on a beach somewhere? Well, that sounds pretty good for a couple of days. You know, what are you going to do? Finally finish that level 100 in whatever stupid video game you're playing? Well, that might sound good here and there. Get those dopamine receptors going. Ooh, playing the video game. Oh, look at the numbers click up. So intoxicating. Yep, been there. Understand those feelings. But with a good work ethic, that will become boring very quickly. You'll be like, I'm really not achieving. I've only got so many seconds in every day. I've only got so many hours in a week. Every time I don't do it, I can hear the Grim Reaper's axe just scything past my head. Because they're coming. He's coming, man. None of us beat Father Time. None of us. So creating a good work ethic means that whether you are hugely successful or just moderately successful, well, the next day is still a joy of learning and growth and production. Produce, produce, produce. And I was going to tell a story about goals and dreams, but I think I'll leave that for another video. So I will finish with this. With a good work ethic, you will also come to realize another thing. You know that the richest man in the world, Bill Gates? Yep. And, you know, people, so uber successful, about as successful as you could possibly be. Bill Gates got a little lucky. We all need to get a little lucky, but he's clearly a very smart, talented, and innovative individual. I would actually like to meet him. You know, he once was asked, what superpower would you like to have? And his answer was, I would like to be able to read books faster, i.e. accumulate knowledge faster. Great, that's what he wanted. You know what he didn't want? He didn't say, oh, I need my bed to be softer, or I need my bed to be more comfortable. You know how much more comfortable Bill Gates' bed is than mine? I would say probably not really at all. You know, he drives a better car than I do, but, you know, with the laws on the street, I can't, you know, even if I had my Maserati, my Ferrari, I can't drive it that fast, can I? So I'm not getting nearly what I want out of it. You know, what else? You know, his house, he has a really big house, and I know people that have been there, and they say it is ugly as sin inside. Excuse me. Hey, maybe my house is no prize, but I like the decor of my house, you know, and I've got plenty of room for myself, my wife, my 2 dogs, and my wonderful little boy, Gigi. What else? I bet his shower isn't any hotter than mine. Bet it isn't that much better, isn't that much more soothing. You know, I bet his partner doesn't love him any more than me. You know, I can guarantee his sex isn't any better. Guarantee that. Doesn't matter how much money you have, you know. Bill Gates does not have nearly as good a body as me. Not even close, nowhere near. And it would take him more than half a decade, even with the best trainers, to get anywhere near to where I am, and I don't think he could. So, you know, my point is that with a work ethic, you can have joy and purpose and productivity in every single day, and it doesn't matter whether you have billions or whether you have millions or whether you have hundreds of thousands or whether you are just scraping by, because you always have purpose. And that's what a good work ethic gets you, and eventually you will see results from having a good work ethic. I guarantee that. So, follow my advice to work on quantifiable results. Make yourself a list every single night and follow it the next day. Follow it to the letter. Do not hold back. Make sure you cross all those things off the list. Do that day in, day out, day in, day out, and eventually you will cultivate a work ethic in yourself that you cannot put down and will not let go of, and it will become part of you. That will mean that anything you do with any successful person will tell you that it starts with a dream, a goal, and a work ethic that cannot be denied. Hey, I believe in you guys. I want you guys to believe in yourselves too. Let's make a better world for ourselves. Let's make a better world for everybody in it. And let's make sure that everybody can achieve their goals and their dreams. Hey, I'm the SilverBack. I look forward to next time, and I'll catch you later.